have Chief Arlen Dumas speak first. Thank you. Do you need to adjust? Take questions after.
Yes, good afternoon. Chief Arlen Dumas, Mathias, Colomb, Cree Nation, Puckawaga, Manitoba. I just wanted to come and share what has transpired in regards to this issue with my community. Over the past 5-6 years, we've attempted numerous times through email, through meetings, through correspondence to assist with dealing with this issue, which impacts our constitutionally protected rights, interests of the Mathias, Colomb, Cree Nation, our treaty rights, our inherent rights, in a meaningful way with the province and HudBay. Regardless of our best efforts and our best intentions, there have been no results. While the company is willfully expending hundreds of millions of dollars, my community still remains in poverty. We still remain managing the poverty that we have to contend with every day. I acknowledge my community for being supportive and allowing me to work through this process in order to attempt to better their lives and the lives of everyone that is impacted by this issue. HudBay has been operating on our traditional lands for well over 80 years. They've operated 26 mines. They've harvested $150 billion worth of natural resources from our territory, and not a cent has come into our community. There's no legacy of HudBay exploiting our resources in our territory, and those days are over. I have to appeal to my membership from Burntwood, from Sheridan, from Cormorant, who are going to become instantly criminalized if HudBay is awarded this decision by the courts that they've brought forward today. We've attempted to work in a meaningful way, in a constructive way to deal with this issue, but they have come down with an anvil through the court system to quash our constitutionally protected rights. And that cannot be allowed to happen. It's very heavy-handed. Not only are they wanting to sue us for millions, they're wanting to place me in jail and any of my community members. It's completely unacceptable that on the one hand we're told we need to respect the rule of law, but in the same breath we're bending rules for big business and corporations. Today was sort of a last effort that at least our story could be told, that we would have an opportunity in a just way to relay our side of the story, to relay our message, our history, the fact that everything that we've done has been in good faith, everything we've done has been respectful, we've been peaceful, we do not want to harm anybody. We heard issues of safety were brought forward when all the issues that I've heard had to do with somebody's bottom line and had nothing to do with safety and protecting people like we have. I was called a child today in court. I was spoken to like an insolent little baby, and I was told that I could be thrown out of the court faster than I would know, that my head would spin. So upon being told that, and upon the fact that my representatives were unable, they were not given the privilege to do their job and speak in a good way in that court system, and after being chastised the way I was, I had no other alternative but to get up and remove myself from such a disrespectful situation, and I would not be a party to that. So that is why I walked out of the courtroom today and left the issues in the capable hands of my representatives. So thank you for coming out today and assisting us in drawing attention to this matter. This is an issue we have with the corporation of HudBay. We have no issue with our friends and people that live in our traditional territories in Snow Lake and Flin Flon or anywhere else. We have no issue with people who need to be gainfully employed, and we don't want to hinder their livelihoods. This is an issue we have between the government and big business. So thank you very much for this opportunity. We'll sit.
Now I'd like to invite AMC Grand Chief Derek Nepanak. Thank you.
Bonjour, Anishinaabe. Nibin Makwan, Dijnakas Makwan Totem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here today once again to voice my support and solidarity with Chief Arlen Dumas, his council, the people of the Mathias, Colomb, Cree Nation, Northern First Nations, Indigenous people generally, and all those across Canada who are watching and seeing what's going on here in the ancestral lands of our people. The events today are not by surprise. There should never be any consideration as to whether or not we're going to find justice in an English court system when we bring ancestral laws and the laws of our people into that type of environment. And that's really what treaty implementation is about. And I said this the other day, I'll say it again. What you're witnessing is modern day treaty implementation. You're witnessing it coming forward from a generation of young people who are coming of age now, who are coming of age and have been taught the lessons and the teachings from the old people. Those lessons and teachings are now informing us and giving us a great passion to push forward, to maintain our identities, to maintain our culture and our language and our activities on the ground. We do this because we love our people. We love our people in our communities. We love our families. We love our nations. And we're not going to stop because the foundation of who we are is far more powerful, far more binding on us than any paper that any judge in any provincial court can push across the table. They can engage in processes where they try to humiliate our people, and they've done it thousands and thousands of times over since the first institutions of the justice system have been built here in our ancestral lands. It's been going on for generations. We should not be surprised by today's outcome. We should not be surprised by the fact that we cannot find justice in a system such as this. We've got to go beyond that, and that's what this generation of people is all about. This generation that's coming of age with the drums and the pipes and the songs. We're about taking a new stand. We're about transforming the relationship, getting it back on track with the original intent and the spirit of our treaties. That's the way things are going to be. And if things got to get worse for a time being, till we can expose what's going on and what's been going on from one generation to the next, so be it. You know, those things that our families thought we lost, those things that our mums and dads, our aunts and uncles, our grandma and grandpas, those things that they thought we lost in the residential school system, they're coming back strong now. They're coming back strong in this generation and future generations. We won't back down from paper that's passed across the table. It's not going to stop. It's not going to tamper the resolve of our people going forward. I'm asking anybody, any Indigenous person, any Aboriginal person that sees injustice in what is happening to the people of Mathias, Colomb, Cree Nation to stand up and take action. It's enough sitting around and watching. It's time to stand up and voice your concern. Take to the streets. Start taking action. Consider the shareholders of these corporations that are making money on the backs of our people while we remain in poverty, while we remain in an unacceptable situation when the rest of Canada is so wealthy. It's true that there's billions of dollars in industry happening in the north, but none of that is making it into our communities. Sure, there might be side agreements here and there for small tables to pop up with contribution funding arrangements, but that's not what this is about anymore. This is about creating an equal playing field and ensuring the prosperity for future generations. That's where we're at now. That's what we're pushing for, and we're not going to stop. You know, it's going to take more than institutions of provincial judges to prevent us from doing what's right. We're going to do the ceremonies on the land. We're going to be there. We're going to fish. We're going to hunt. We're going to do what we have to. We're going to maintain who we are throughout these processes, regardless of whatever types of outcomes people think they can create through the passage of their artificial laws, because the natural laws are coming back strong now. And it's represented And those people who are here today, it's represented in those drums and in those pipes that are lit. And it's represented in the prayers of our people. And the messages are coming through strong. So stand strong, my friends. Things might get a little rougher as we go forward. Chimigwech, thank you.
Now we want to invite Pam Palmer here, who's a good friend to Manitoba and our First Nations leadership.
Hi, I'm Pam Palmer. I'm one of the activists with Idle No More, and I'm here today and in previous days supporting Chief Arlen Dumas and Mathias Colomb Cree Nation in their efforts to protect their lands and waters and territories and uphold their treaty rights. And the story of Mathias Colomb Cree Nation is a story of injustice. The fact that we have a community living in one of the richest areas of this province who is one of the most impoverished. 25 people living to some of the homes in their community, yet HudBay is literally pulling out billions of dollars off of their traditional unceded territories. But the injustice continues from there, because when Chief Arlen Dumas reaches out, like a good treaty partner does, and says, we want to talk to you, we want to talk about sharing, we want to talk about working together, he's denied over and over and over and over again. Instead, they keep him appeased. They keep him busy in meetings, busy writing letters, and not responding to him. That's an injustice when our treaties are constitutionally protected. His Aboriginal and inherent rights are constitutionally protected. But the injustice continued further today in the courtroom when we went in there expecting to have justice, just a fair hearing. That's all that Chief Dumas and the rest of us were asking, was a fair hearing. And instead, what we saw was a disgrace to the Canadian legal system. We saw a judge openly in court, in front of all of our supporters, berate a chief because our supporters weren't happy that the judge kept interrupting our lawyer. We were timing it on the courtroom clock. Our lawyer could hardly speak 10 seconds at a time. Yet the HudBay lawyer didn't have to speak. The judge made all of his arguments for him. And when he did speak, he spoke for 45 minutes uninterrupted. He called the cooking of fish that we did at our peaceful gathering on January 28th and March 5th volatile, violent, and mischief. His mind was already made up before we ever entered that courtroom. So a decision was made amongst all of the supporters and Chief Dumas that if this continued, if this behavior towards our people, and keep in mind how disrespectful that is to all of the Idle No More, AIM supporters, and all community members who came out there to listen and hear both sides of the story. That if this continued, we wouldn't stay because we know it wouldn't be a fair hearing. And that's exactly what happened. The judge continued to interrupt our lawyer. He couldn't finish a sentence, so we left. And we went to try to meet with officials at HudBay. And what did they do? In another heavy-handed move, they contacted the office building where we were going to go and told security that we were on our way and we were violent. They locked us out. We couldn't even go meet with HudBay officials. So when you hear them in the media talk about wanting to reach out, wanting to sit down at the table, wanting to come to the table in good faith, know that this is what good faith means to HudBay in the province of Manitoba. Suing the most impoverished people in this country for hundreds of millions of dollars. For what? For standing up for the health of the lands and waters in this country for Canadians and First Nations alike. So justice denied for Mathias Colomb Cree Nation is justice denied for all Canadians. And we're here to stand up for that. Thank you.
We'll take a few questions if you have any.
I guess we'll start with Chief Dumas.
Can you just identify yourself and then?
Mitch Ross with Gold TV. Just Perfect. I guess we'll begin. How did you feel when the judge was saying those remarks to you and led to you walking out of the courtroom?
Initially, when he started his behavior, which was, I believe, was directed at me, I was actually surprised, and I didn't think it would be at me, so I actually looked behind me to see if there was anybody sitting behind me. Then I realized he was directing his comments to me for whatever reason. I found that to be very disrespectful. I respect his office I respect his role and his office as a judge, and I conducted myself accordingly in the halls of that justice system, and I just assumed that respect would be returned. So I was very appalled that how he chose to speak. We all know what his authority and his powers are. We all know that. He doesn't need to raise his voice. He could actually wink at a bailiff, and the bailiff would know what he was saying, and anybody causing a disturbance would be carted out of the room. So there was no reason for him to conduct himself that way.
So you're saying he crossed the line?
Absolutely. Very disrespectful.
So what now? You guys said you're pushing for action to be done, but what exactly?
I don't understand your question.
You guys are saying, like, after today's incident, you're pushing for people to stand up and so forth. But what do you want them to do?
We need to continue the momentum. You know, the things that we're doing are not arbitrary. These are not things of convenience that we're doing. They're out of desperation and out of wanting to make things right. You know, and when we send letters and we have meetings and we try and inform people that they're trampling on our rights and not addressing them properly, then what else do you do? You know, we wanted to go and have a peaceful demonstration. We took our children and we were going to have a cookout, and we did actually. We cooked some fish in order to draw attention that you know, we are in this area and we need to be dealt with. But to be labeled, you know, volatile people and you know, lawbreakers and barricade builders, you know, it's nothing was further from the truth. And I guess we're going to continue to do those things. We'll continue to draw attention to the matter until the issue is resolved by those who have the opportunity to resolve it. The very same people that I've been trying for the past 5 years to resolve this issue and have allowed for this to happen today.
So drawing attention, you mean like more protests and stuff like that?
Yeah, I will continue to support Idle No More. I will continue to support AIM. I'll continue to support any of the grassroots people that need issues to be moved, and I will continue to advocate on behalf of my Cree Nation.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Bottom.